The market is in a very tremulous state, and we fear for its continuation from a population economics point of view. So not only are we looking for the radical and sudden collapse of Japan, we're not looking forward to it, of course. We would not wish this on any nation. And the impossibility of any bailout of Japan, because it's such a huge country. It would be impossible for the West to tackle bailing them out. The contemplation of that idea is almost impossible to think of. So this would inevitably flow on, I think, to a collapse, a complete and utter rout of the Western economies, the Western banking system, the Western intergovernmental economic and trading systems. And in this vacuum, this economic vacuum, I think China would play a major part. And I think many time-honoured institutions like the United Nations, America as a power player, could all be severely diminished or even completely done away with. These are very sad outcomes for defying underlying principles, ancient principles of growth. Throughout history you can see, burgeoning populations, even if they're small, but burgeoning, like Alexander's Greece. He was able to conquer a larger country that had solidified and kind of stultified and didn't appear to be going anywhere. It had lost its direction, and so it was defeated by a much smaller nation with a burgeoning, aggressive, outward-seeking, potential-looking economy. Economically active, aggressive, ambitious people. And the army that Alexander had was obviously an excess army. The home country was covered by plenty of military age, economically active persons back in Macedonia, back in Greece itself, back on the peninsula. Now, wherever you look in history, in military history, at the rise and fall of nations, you will find that the population growth is a major factor for the advance of that culture and its influence and its predominance in the world. And any country that either internally, through pewter poisoning, as in the case of the Roman aristocracy, any class of people reduces its size or its growth, will reduce its influence. And I would say, quite confident, that your Rothschilds and your Bilderbergers, your United Nations, your powerful economic families will disappear overnight through this collapse, probably within 10 or 15 years, 18, 20, 25 years at the outside. They will be gone. Some people think there's a gigantic conspiracy to bring about a collapse and pick up everything cheaply and control things in a new world economic order. But I think this is they might have worked a few tricks on the surface. And indeed, I'm sure they have. I think the world is, I'm not naive, the world is a very complex place. But underneath, there are bigger things afoot than their feet and their handiwork. And this is the karma of nations and of civilizations. This is the judgment of God. This is the the judgment, the final statement about the population economics, the absolute essentiality of it. You cannot defy the rules of population economics, the idea that to grow you must grow, to diminish you will die, your economy will fail utterly. And it's a true man who knows this and says this to you. You know, a lying person will tell you that it's all okay. You know, just spend more money, be positive, and so on. You know, you'll just impoverish yourself. You'll become bankrupt if you follow that path. This is the path of retaining what you have, of careful stewardship, of caution, and, you know, very wise behaviour. Don't be clever. Don't be smart. For instance, the gold market. People are going to the gold market at the moment, but the gold market now is not gold. You don't hold the gold. People hold gold certificates, and no doubt gold and bullion dealers have found that they can issue certificates like a banker. You know, they have a bar of gold. You can go and see it in the shop, and people will tell you that's your bar of gold. But he can issue 7 certificates off of that 1 bar of gold for the same value as their bar of gold. They've become bankers, and probably some very clever ones and very risky ones have issued, like in the derivatives market, 500 certificates per bar of gold, saying you're a whole